We got infighting amongst the rebels. Mon Mothra is a bit of a cunt, a nosy blonde bitch that wants to keep on digging, and the former head of security beginning to obsess about Andor. On today's Nerd North! Welcome back, Nerd North, and we are talking Andor Episode 5. And Papa North gotta say, he's still loving every fucking minute of this show. So let's delve into Episode 5, but before we do, don't forget to hit subscribe and help an independent content creator grow. So our first story arc to complete is former head of security... Who the fuck named him Cyril? Having what appears to be breakfast with Mom. As she's lecturing him like any mother would, you can see him delving further into his own self-pity and depression. But like every good mom, she feels she has the solution to his problem and says it's time to call Uncle Harlow. I don't know who the fuck Uncle Harlow is, but I'm so fucking hoping it's Uncle Leo from Seinfeld. Cyril, hello! Anyway, his arc doesn't eat up a whole lot of screen time, and by the end of the show we see him obsessing and staring at a hologram of Cassian Andor. And just like Joy Behard's waistline, you know that's a story that's not finished yet. On to Mon Mothra! We go to a little breakfast scene where you know she's planned a day out with her daughter, but like any teen with better fucking things to do, she says, "You planned this for me, I didn't agree to do it." And when Mon Mothra tells her she's going and that's the end of discussion, her daughter looks back and says, like, "Fuck I am." And after a little back and forth, Mothra agrees this just isn't gonna happen. She looks at her husband and says, "Thanks for your support on that one." This is what makes this show so fucking great, because we've all been in that situation before. Mom and Dad fighting at the dinner table. Mom drops the "thanks for your support" line. Right then, we all know fucking dinner is over. It's just cutlery clanging on a plate and chairs being pushed in. This Papa North can relate to. And we finish off with her and her husband coming back from a late night evening event where her husband clearly didn't enjoy his time. And Mothra reminds him that clearly he doesn't know what it's like to be around charitable people. What a fucking cunt, but I still would. Twice. We now have Lieutenant Blevel taking over for former security head Lieutenant Cyril, looking over the calamity that was left over from Andor's escape on Ferrix. They were looking for a Matthew Broderick cameo at this point, but it was a case of Ferrix Bueller's Day Off. Looking to set up a new headquarters there, as the Empire assumes total command of that planet. And finally, we go back to the blonde bitch who's still snooping around, with the sense that there's something more going on, and that Andor can't be working alone, when her co-worker tells her it just seems too random to be random. Clearly, he's dated on Plenty of Fish before. But this is an Andor show, so let's get down to the Andor juicies. So this is what it is. He's new to this group of rebels, and with very little to go on about him, and next to complete silence from Orlando Bloom, mistrust and infighting happens amongst this group. The youngest of them all, who's a complete freedom fighter, really takes a shine to Andor, while the other guy, Keen, we'll just call him the guy from Scrubs, has a lot of doubt in Andor and clearly doesn't trust him. Star Wars Ernie Hudson's kind of indifferent on the whole situation, where we eventually get the nitty-gritty details on what they're gonna do when they hit up the garrison. When they begin to ask him about the weight of the ship and how hard it would be to get it off of the ground, Andor realizes that these rebels don't have much of a fucking plan. Says, "Fuck that shit, I'm flying the ship myself." Just like that time I ordered an Uber, my driver was Asian. The next morning they journey towards the garrison. The guy from Scrubs holds a knife to Andor's throat and found the Kyber crystal that the contact gave to him. We're now changing his name to Star Wars Richard Serena. So now the whole fucking group is up in arms when Andor admits, "That's right, I did it for the fucking money, but don't use me as a fucking excuse to get out of this." Just like the last 10 dates Papa North went on. So female Link and Bollywood Poos take off, leaving Star Wars Ernie Hudson in charge, and things seeming settled for now. We do get some breathtaking TIE fighter shots, and some beautiful scenery that looks like it's right out of Lord of the Rings. I swear the fuck I saw Gandalf molesting some hobbits in the background. Finally, the rebels' inside man, Lieutenant Gorn, not Dorn, although that would have been a much better casting. We get a little more backstory on him. He liked the village girl the Empire frowned on and he lost his promotion. Don't worry, Lieutenant Dorn, there's always a place on Mars with a three-boobied woman. Anyways, he's there to make sure things are set in motion for the big heist. finish off with that ragtag group of rebels, campfire and drink, and a salute to the rebellion. It might be a slow burn, but Papa North is enjoying this more dramatical take set in the story a long time ago in the galaxy far, far away. Okay, it's pretty much a serious version of Lower Decks. But tell me what you think. Did you like this show? Did you hate this show? But the more likes and comments you leave gives me more of a chance to make some great nerdy content for subscribers like you. And a quick shout out to my best friend, admin, and super nerd, Patty Richardson, who continues to make sure Nerd North reaches as many people as it possibly can, and always believing in the dream. Subscribe to Nerd North today and be part of that dream with us. And where would we be without my brother and our music man, the Resonator, who makes a great added touch to each and every video that we make. And if you want to check out some more of his great creations, go to Bandcamp, but just some incredibly amazing albums on there from my brother, the Resonator. His links are in the description below. And to each and every Nerd North subscriber, because we can't do this show without any of you. And until next time, Nerd North!